when I want to just jump into something for not a huge amount of time, and knock out a run and see how far I get, and then feel terrible about myself. It's a great game for that. So, so here's your little dude, and you can have multiple. You have multiple guys to choose from, but you can't pick this dude until like you're level 30 or something. Yeah, level 30. So they've got an ability and a grenade. His is a dual wield ability, which is actually pretty powerful considering some of the synergistic properties of some of the weapons. And then he has an explosive grenade. And this dude has an energy orb, and it could like freeze enemies, but you could also modify it throughout your run and make it more of like a damage blast, ability where it doesn't freeze your enemies, but it does, maybe fire damage or something. So it gets really fun like that, especially when you're playing with others, and you could sort of build your loadouts on the go, with the mindfulness towards what the other person has, and it gets really fun. Um, but you will. It's one of those games where you will die a lot, and that's part of it. So if you don't like dying a lot and just feeling terrible, then you, you might not like this game. Or maybe you're just not terrible at it and you're better, and then you won't die. Like what is he talking about with all this dying stuff? No, Ryker, that's not actually how it's supposed to be. You're just really bad. It's okay. I just blame it on the Steam controller. And then if I do well, then I can blame it on the Steam controller. So, all right, here we go. This game is amazing for the Steam controller. There's not a whole lot of vertical movement. Um, and it's just a lot of fun. Big hitboxes and a lot of interesting weapons and stuff. So the way I have it set up is I'm using a template, but it also has our current our new jam, high acceleration on the gyro, low sensitivity vertical scale, trigger dampening. So whenever I fire or pull the left trigger or aim, it'll dampen. And then under full pull of that left trigger, medium acceleration, also low vertical scale sensitivity, and then additional dampening right here. This is where most of the difference is happening between the full pull and the regular / soft pull. So everything else is pretty much the same as every other game for the most part. Your abilities, your ability is up here. Your grenades are over here. Because I throw grenades a lot in games, and I always I tend to put that underneath my trigger, my right trigger, using a shift. So left grip. This is always shift, the left grip button. So shift, fire throws grenades. And I did that in this game too. But it's not really a game where the grenade is like that. It's more like the grenade is sort of different. So I also have the grenade available right here, which is probably a more traditional location for it anyway. And then I have the ultimate ability or the super whatever over here. And then use is F. So I have that on right grip. So left grip, right grip, use. And right grip all by itself is just jump. And now switching weapons and stuff, you have 3 weapons. So what we're doing here is underneath the touchpad, the right touchpad, we have a D-pad. So you get to it by clicking. So you push your thumb in either of these 4 quadrants, and you get reload. On any quadrant, you actually get reload. So anywhere you click, you're going to be able to reload. And then if you want to change your weapon, squeeze the shift button or the left grip and click in any of these quadrants for first, second, and third weapon. And then down adjusts your rate of fire. This is a pretty great option. I like it a lot more than a radial menu, just because a radial puts your options sort of like it changes the location of them. So you kind of have to, like, if you want to, be consistent, you'd have to use the same amount of options on the radial and then use your finger. I don't know. This just feels just much more reliable from my dumb thumbs, of course. Now, that's pretty much it. Everything over here is the same. I think, I can't remember if you even crouch in this game, but I have it mapped in the template, in the config. And shift is dash, which feels real nice to have under that movement touchpad. All right, so let's check it out. There's lots of pots and stuff that you can break if you're into that sort of thing. And many of them have money in it. And you can use the money to upgrade your weapons and buy different abilities. So because these weapons don't have ADS, when I soft pull the left trigger, you don't see anything visually happening. But it is activating that dampening. So the soft pull, left or right trigger, in this case left trigger, which I'm doing right now, that is dampening the sensitivity of the gyro. So this is full sensitivity. This is a normal. This is nothing held. Actually, in fact, this is nothing held. Literally not a thing. Just the controller in my palms. So soft pulling now decreases that, and then full pulling decreases it even more, but more importantly, adjusts the acceleration from high to medium, which I feel much better with. Being in the very low sensitivity sort of option, having that set to medium feels a little more consistent. So I can still kind of track my target without it like going too fast, but I just lower the sensitivity even further so that it is a much lower sensitivity option. All right, so these are grenades. I already have them. I have as many as I can currently carry. Of course, all the stats on everything, on my sprint or my shift, my dash, my grenades, my ammo, all these stats can get affected and adjusted and modified and improved as you clear levels and all that stuff. So you'll find things like this. So it gives you all the stats right there, and you'll have, those bullet points are usually where kind of the magic happens, and you get some pretty unique, pretty random stuff. Whoop. It's so fun. And you can play this like super aggressively and go through, like, throw your bombs and use your powers and like clear stuff out really fast. and thankfully too, because you end up playing through a lot of the same stuff over and over, and you end up learning like real fast ways of like getting through it. But what's more fun is like when you take your time and you just like appreciate all of these quirky weapons, especially with how it handles with the gyro on the controller. And I'm still dialing in a few things, but it's one of the most fun gyro games, even though like it's obviously has nothing to do with gyro aiming. But for some reason, it feels so good. It just feels really satisfying. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that the enemies aren't moving very fast. They're actually very easy targets. So it feels like once you get the gyro aimed in or dialed in, then there should be no problem just having sort of that cathartic headshot fest that we get out of Overwatch. So these are cool. These let you like upgrade your abilities and stuff, and they progress as you go. They're not always available, but you can get lucky and end up like progressing a certain one and leveling it up, and it's really fun and satisfying as you start realizing how greatly they can affect your weapons and your options. And the coolest thing is it really changes how you even play, because this is where you can do something like, like your smoke grenades, right? The damage can increase by 300%, but you reduce the elemental effect by 50%. Well, you might have a weapon that gives you an additional 300% damage on enemies that are affected by an elemental damage. So if an enemy is on fire, right, or whatever, your weapon will do more damage. So you wouldn't want to do that, right? That's going to make your experience worse. But if you didn't care about the elemental effect, you can totally change how your grenades work, and it's a really fun thing, especially when you keep dying over and over and over at the boss, and you're just like desperate to figure out a way to beat this dude, and you realize that you just have to put a little bit more thought into what you're picking here. So, all right, let's see. After killing an enemy affected by elemental effects, plus 40% rate of fire for 6 seconds. It's pretty cool. Energy orb has 50% chance of exploding twice, 30% chance of exploding 3 times, and 10% chance of exploding 4 times. Yeah, I'll take that. That sounds awesome. I love additional explosions. And you get like extra, damage for shooting like in the head or any critical point, essentially. I find I keep aiming to the left. So these are interesting. So trade, you can give 134 gold for a random occult scroll, or give 146 gold for a random weapon. Now the weapon could be like totally shitty. So if you like what you have, you might not want to do that. Get a random occult scroll. This can give you, I'll go ahead and I can't do it. I don't even have enough. I would do it, but they could give you like additional perks and powers and modifiers and stuff. Like you can get one that gives you like increases your dash to like 3 or more even, and that's like super fun. I think if you shoot the barrel, it'll explode. Also, so yeah, I don't know if I mentioned, 4-player co-op. And so if a person gets knocked down, you can revive them, which ends up being really useful. Who'd have thought? I do wish that I could wall run in this game. Like, I wish I could double jump and wall run and kind of like create a more nimble character. All right, so the energy orb damage increased by 200%, but no longer freezes enemies. That's, I mean, that's a lot of damage. So I'm gonna do it. I mean, freezing enemies is really valuable, but that's okay. Oh, don't get blown up by grenades. Especially when you have a dash available. Oh, this guy is cool. So he'll like upgrade your weapon. So he'll upgrade it to increase the maximum capacity by 60%, and give it a 50% chance to cause an explosion that deals corrosion damage when an enemy is killed. All for 100 gold. That seems quite worth it. All right, dude. Thank you. I just need to aim. Man, that explosion is nice. It's very handy. I appreciate that. Oh, those guys, their heads explode. See, I keep forgetting about my grenades. After taking damage, your next hit within 3 seconds will be a critical hit. Nice. I don't want it. Well, you know, I don't have a 2, so I'll take it as my 2, but if I find something better. After casting Energy Orb, 300% weapon damage on next hit and deal 50% damage to enemies adjacent to target. Oh, that sounds really tasty. We're going to do it for sure. That's good. And this dude's so cool. Hey, man. We can buy some health from him and ammo and grenades. Thank you very much. We're going to be on our way. Through the red portal. It only hurts for a second. There's these big horse dudes with these big shields. And they're pretty cool. They're tough. And you gotta shoot around their shield. Or wait for them to turn like a dork. They're pretty dumb too. Oh, see, then you gotta choose. I kind of ended up liking this one. But I think this will be better because if I'm throwing the energy bomb and damaging the dudes and then getting more damage per hit, this thing's gonna do more damage. Maybe because it's shooting more, and I might have a better chance of landing it because I don't want to miss the other one. At least that's my thinking. Oh man, it feels so good using that gyro to aim around the corners. It's almost like a new thing that I haven't really done. Like turning around a corner. Like it feels foreign for some reason. But I definitely didn't do that a lot. That high of a degree of turning when I was using a lower gyro sensitivity. I would just be using the touchpad for that amount of turning. But I mean, like, that's almost like half circle strafing, you know? In fact, if I just got good at turning my hands, hitting that dampen button or that like pause button, you know, stopping the gyro and then turn my hands. I mean, that's quite a bit of circle strafing I can get done, you know, before you have to reset. Man, we might need to play Doom sometime because we haven't tried Doom with the high acceleration and the always-on gyro. I don't think we have, or at least not with the Y as the disabling button. Yes. All right. So this gives my here, I'll read it. I'll read it to you. 3% movement speed for every 10% shield you currently have. So I run faster when I have more shields, which is wonderful. I love moving faster in games. Almost always. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Haha. go! You longbow man! I'm gonna blow you up. Oh shit. It's gonna blow me up. Oh man, that was crazy. Oh, I keep trying to double jump. I can't double jump. Challenge event is the risk that may appears at any time in an adventure, but it also means unexpected goods. Well, that's exciting. All the enemies transform into horned beetles after they're defeated. That's funny. Oh, very stabby. Very horned. Very exploded. Oh yeah. Come on, show me your beetle. Gain immunity to all damage for 1 second after swapping weapons. What? That's cool. Encourage the weapon swapping. All right. Oh, final stage. Bummer. This is where we die. When using secondary skill, there's a 50% chance to double the consumption and 50% chance to deal double damage. Oh. No, I need all the help I can get. Alright. Alright, dude, what do you got for me? Ammo's return to magazine on miss. That's a cool little perk. Wow. Reload speed plus 40%. Wait, plus 40%? Does that mean it takes longer to reload? Or does it mean decreased by 40%? Well, 50% weapon damage against enemies in decay effect. I don't think I have anything that does decay effect damage, unfortunately. This one does fire or deals burning effect or fire damage. Let's see. Damage type converts into fire damage. Lucky shot chance plus 50%. Stability minus 50%. When loading an empty magazine, reload speed is plus 55%. I definitely think I want this one. Not because it's the better choice, but because it's the choice I want to make. Alright, dude. I'm here again. Oh, you still got your big glove, huh? That's cool. Oh man, I gotta stop missing. If I don't miss shots, oh shoot, then I'll have a better chance of hitting him. Oh no! I thought I dodged. I thought I dodged, but I couldn't dodge enough. He got me. And that's it. Game over. I lost. I'm a loser. Look how sad I am. I'm a sad little kitty cat because I got destroyed by that big mean guy. But you know, I got 32 soul essence, and I can use that. I can use that to make myself better. Get higher capacity for secondary skills. More grenades, eh? That could be really cool. Damage resistance. See, I didn't even use my grenades on this dude, nor my ability, and so like it makes it feel like you're the dummy, you know? Like, sure, the game might be hard, but like I didn't even use all of my abilities, so I can't even complain. Type of thing. Weapon has higher chance to have exclusive inscriptions, which means the weapon might have cooler stuff. Damage. Take less damage. Boy, that seems like a valuable thing to do. But then again, more grenades. It's always fun. All right, I'll be responsible. I'll get the more damage. And whatever you have left over of your soul essence, you lose. You don't get to save it. You don't get to bring it with you. If you just need one more to get the big thing you want, and you can't, then you lose everything. If you don't have something small enough to put it into. So it's kind of wonderful. So you tend to unlock things at the end of each little match, at the end of each session. So then the next time you're playing, you're actually your character's more skilled than they were before. So that's where the progression is. And really, there's only 3 bosses in the game, so that kind of tells you something. You're not supposed to beat them the first time, that's for sure. You're not even really supposed to be able to, I guess. But yeah, as you unlock more, it definitely feels, it can feel like a different game, depending on what direction you take your unlocks and stuff. And this game is only $12. I can't believe it. It's the most fun you can get for $12 on Steam probably right now. If you're into this sort of thing, of course, and of course everything I'm saying is relative to the Steam controller and the experience with this game with the Steam controller.